Welcome, friends, it is Hi-Rez LostScarf, and it's time for the Welp Medusa, Shinobulanke, and Torment Bologna patch. It's 2 skins and a nerf, and that's it. So, let's get going. Alright, here it is. Torment Bologna. She's a scary-looking lady, ain't she? Still would date that. Okay, so there she is, Torment Bologna. People are like this one. She doesn't even have her gold skin yet, but she's got Torment Bologna. Oddly enough, there is no Shinobulanke thing. There's only Torment Bologna, which is kind of odd there. Let's go ahead and take a look at Torment Bologna. So here it is. The Tormentor. Bologna. So it looks pretty cool. Looks pretty nice. Really bony. Really boned up there. Let's hit the voice pack.
Enemies behind us.
What the fuck?
Gank middle lane.
Okay, that's cool.
I'll gank middle lane. Retreat left lane. Help right lane. Group up.
About time I had an interesting voice pack. Nice.
Return to base. Retreat middle lane. My victory was inevitable. I'll defend the fire giant.
That is pretty awesome.
Enemies in right lane.
That is pretty awesome right there. Now let's go ahead and look at Shinobulanke. So down here. And where are you? There you are. Alright, let's hear it.
I'll defend middle lane.
Huh?
Enemies incoming.
Huh.
I'll attack right lane.
Really?
Attack the Gold Fury. I'll attack middle lane. Enemy spotted.
Is it bad that I expected a more racist voice?
On my way. I'll defend left lane. Retreat right lane. Be careful.
It's a different voice. It just doesn't sound...
Attack fire giant.
He's got a little bit of inflection there. It's just when you hear Torment.
Stepping away for
But then again, you shouldn't have filters on this voice.
I'll attack left lane. Retreat left lane. Stepping away for a moment.
I'm trying to hear like something ninja related.
Going into the middle.
I'm not hearing any ninja related comments.
Cancel. Left lane.
Into the shadows. None of this. Okay, whatever. Alright. Alright. Torment was amazing. Shinobulanke looks great, but I'm not hearing it in that voice pack. And I might be being a little hard on that. So now let's take a look at the Medusa nerf. And that's basically everything. Alright, 2 quick things. First one is the add friend button is gone because that was superfluous because it was in friend list. And friends list has numbers now, so that's cool. So the nerfs to Medusa. First up is Lacerate. So she goes from 120, 150, 180, 210 to 240 to 80, 120, 160, 200, and 240. Power contribution is the same. So it's a nerf of 40 damage right here. Odin's jump is 120 at first level. Medusa's dash was 120 at first level. So they hit kind of hard at the first level. And I'm guessing this caused first bloods, and that's why they nerfed it. I don't know. I don't really see people using Lacerate so aggressively at the start because it could get them killed. But I guess that extra 40 points of damage was huge. So they nerfed it. That's the only assumption I can make as to why it got nerfed, because Lacerate isn't really your damage dealer. It's this, Viper Shot. Viper Shot got nerfed, in my opinion, a little too nerfed. Some people felt she was OP, she was not OP, she was pretty good. She was maybe a bit strong with her kit. Her ultimate on top of Viper Shot would do a lot. Viper Shot alone is not bad, it caused some kills, but if you really look at the numbers, it's not that ridiculous. It wasn't that ridiculous, and the new version, the defanged version, is definitely not ridiculous in any way. So I'm going to throw numbers at you. So this used to be 10, 18, 26, 34, and 42 with 15% contribution. Now it's 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 with 10% contribution. Even numbers, how nice. So with just looking at the flat at final level, 42 would give you 378 poison damage. The new one gives you 34, 270 poison damage. That's flat. But power contribution is what's important. With the 15% and the 10%. Now, when you build Medusa traditionally, you're going to hit about 200-ish physical power. With red buff and potion and stuff like that, you'll hit maybe 250 or maybe a bit beyond. We'll give 250 as a good level spot. With 250 physical power, with the old numbers, you would do 42 plus 15%, which would be 37.5, which give you 79.5 damage. So 9 ticks of that gives you 715.5 poison damage. That's not counting the base attacks from the hits, just the poison damage alone. That's basically 1 crit. Pretty nice amount of damage there. The new one is 30 plus 25, which makes you 55, so you get 495 poison damage alone. That's 1 hard hit or a weaker crit, depending on what you had built. And that's not bad. But so basically, your poison counts as one extra basic attack. Essentially, that's what it does. And it's a difference of about 200 damage. That's what the difference really is, if you land all 3 shots, of course. But on top of that is, it used to be 100 attack speed, now it is 40, 50, 60, 70, and 80. So that is a bit significant. That is a lower DPS for sure. Now, if you want to go ridiculous with the 500 physical power comparison, which people did, which was stupid, because it takes a lot to get 500 physical power. You got to build all the stacks, you got to build really heavy on power, you can't get much attack speed, and then you have to get all the potions and all the buffs, and so it's basically red potion, elixir, red buff, and fire giant. You need everything to hit 500. That's just how it is. So if you want to build that way, go ahead. With 100% attack speed, you'd have at least a 3-hit burst, but after that you wouldn't be too much, but with your ultimate on top of that, maybe you could make it happen. And with 500 physical power, you could hit over 1,000 damage. You'd hit about 1087. So there you go. There's your magical Medusa can do 1,000 damage right there. In PTS, she could do it easily, but that was PTS. In the actual game, she would need all that power to do it, so that's not actually that ridiculous. Because you would have to get all that to do it. People would say, she can do over 1,000 damage. If you could build all that, which you're not going to do. Now, with the new numbers, with the 30, and you go ahead and get 500, the best you can do is 720, which is a 1 critical. That's basically it. In my opinion, the damage and attack speed nerfs were too much in combination. One or the other would have been fine. Let her keep her 100%, or let her keep some of this damage here. Like, with them both down, she's in a worse position, because her steroid is what this basically going to be. It's a steroid plus a basic attack, if you land all 3 shots. You're going to hit pretty good with this, but a steroid is 80% for 3 shots. You can look at it 2 other gods. Artemis's DPS with her 2 gives her 75% attack speed, but for 5 seconds. Her DPS is way better than Medusa's. You can also look at Rama, who has 50% for 5 seconds. That is lower, but because it's a whole 5 seconds instead of just 3 basic attacks, his DPS is higher than Medusa as well. So Medusa is in the middle of the pack. I'd say she was pretty good. She was reaching the top tier, but not the top tier because there's on her. But now she's in a worse position. Of course, she does have really good teamfight potential with her Petrified. This is a very useful ability in a team fight compared to some of the other hunters. So she does have some potential in the game. Her clear's not bad. So she's not too bad. I do think she got over-nerfed, though. And now she's just middle of the pack. She's okay now. And that's kind of too bad. And I feel like it's just a reaction because after what happened with Bellona. Bellona's ridiculous. She took too long to get nerfed, and when they finally nerfed her, then Medusa comes out, and then everyone thinks she's being ridiculous just like Bellona, and so they reacted in the way they did. That is my opinion on that. But Medusa will still be fun to play, but definitely other hunters will be picked above her, in my opinion. So that right there is the patch. Hope you learned something from all that. And, well, I had fun. Hope you're fun watching. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Having fun. Thanks for coming by, and see you next time.